Hey, so welcome to another episode of the SkyoöD-Vu P.O.V show. I'm driving in a car, as I mentioned in a couple videos back, that I was going to try to do some more off-the-cuff type stuff. And although I uploaded two simultaneous videos, which is basically part one and part two, I guess I owe a video for this week because I'm trying to at least post one video a week. So that being said, I do this while I'm driving, and I guess I'll have an excuse for not looking at the camera because I need to be concentrating on the road. Nevertheless, so just a couple things on my mind. Nothing really earth-shaking, just some thoughts I had. One was that a couple weeks ago, Ford Motor Company announced that in North America, they're going to cease selling passenger vehicles for the most part. They're going to have normal cars, which means the only vehicle that they said they would sell, other than that's not an SUV or pickup truck, was going to be the Mustang. And I guess the Fusion is going to get a little bit of extension of life. But that brings another thought to my mind, and that's NASCAR. So if they are not going to have any cars for sale, like the Focus and the Fiesta, which I think is a big mistake, but I understand that it's a profit-driven situation, and they will continue to sell those cars outside the United States because they are, the global platform that they always talk about. Anyways, what are they going to race in NASCAR? Does that mean they have to go to all Mustangs? Which then would force Chevrolet to go with the Camaro. Where does that leave Toyota? Supra? Considering that new Supra's on the way with the co-production between BMW and Toyota, that could be really interesting. Supra versus Mustang versus Camaro on a NASCAR track. I like the idea. What I don't like, and it's probably my biggest gripe with NASCAR in general, is that they're not stock cars. It says North American or National, North American Stock Car Association. NASCAR? Anyways, whatever it means. They're not stock. They're silhouette racers. And I know they've been silhouette racers for a great deal of time already, but nonetheless, win on Sunday, sell on Monday. I don't know how that really flies. Or I guess if the other route would be they just do NASCAR Truck Series, which then Ford can participate in, or NASCAR has to be SUV based, which means we'll see Blazers versus Fusions. Blazer versus Explorer. I don't know. Interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyways, that's one thought. On the subject of NASCAR, another thought I've actually had for a long, long time as a motorsports fan, could we maybe adopt Australian V8 supercars where they basically are tube frame within actual chassis? Oh, and tube frame in unibody chassis. Thank you. In other words, there's a certain amount of components that have to be direct carryover from the production vehicle with minor adjustments, and I just think it makes for way more exciting racing. Would make the racing on non-ovals even more interesting, because I mean, if you watch a race with NASCAR on a normal street track, those cars are floating all over the place. I mean, they look so unstable and dangerous, it's unreal. And I just think if it was based on an actual street car, it'd be a lot more interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna pause the video right there, and I'll come back in a second. I'm back. Just step out of the car real quick and run some errands on my way home. F1, I didn't forget about it. So for my F1 chatter for this week, or for this episode, awesome result as a Tifosi. I'm super stoked. Sebastian Vettel took the podium in Canada, and congratulations to him. It's his 50th. He's been waiting a long time. Ironically enough, I was watching the German newscast, and this is actually the first race I got to watch this season live in HD, and it's so much more impressive and fun to watch with all that detail that HD gives you versus watching it the recorded version on a streaming service. But of course, then you have to sit through the painful commercials. But I guess that's okay. It'll give you a break to go do some other stuff, hit the fridge or the facilities. Anyways, though, funny enough, the RTL reporters were like, well, before the race, well, let's see if Vettel can finally do it after he took the pole in qualifying, because they were like, he's got to win this one because it's going to be his 50th win in Formula One. And we've already had a documentary celebrating the short documentary clip celebrating his 50 wins in Formula One in the can basically since China. So this one's been a long time coming. So that was fun to watch. Also, each individual race he won, or the 50 that he won with Red Bull and with Toro Rosso, the first one. Was Toro Rosso? Yeah, Toro Rosso, the first one I think he did. Just kind of cool to see his look change over the years and get more mature from this really young looking teenager, and yeah, it was really cool. Congratulations also out to Max Verstappen. That was an awesome result. Basically dominated Ricciardo in qualifying for Red Bull and took third place. Was a little surprised that he couldn't challenge and get past Bottas for second, but it's strange. It shows you when you get up into the top 5, the passing becomes exponentially more difficult, whereas if you start from the back of the field with a car like a Red Bull or a Ferrari or Mercedes, yeah, it's like a knife through hot butter. You just go through the field, which is super fun to watch. But anyways, again, congratulations to Max. Awesome result that he did get on the podium after such mixed results over the last couple races, no crashes and things like that. That first lap was pretty scary, though, with Lance Stroll pushing one of the Toro Rossos in the wall. That kind of actually was a nail-biter, because I figured, oh crap, now if we go to restart, if Sebastian Vettel screws it up, Bottas, even Ricciardo could maybe slide in past him on a restart, but he dominated the restart under the safety car, so that was really cool. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I have to say about Formula One this week. It was a great race. I'm looking forward to the next one in France. Unfortunately, I'll have to watch a recorded version of that, yeah. So, my thoughts on Formula One. So, and the last thing to talk about today, just kind of top of my head, is being a car nut and having a very limited budget is always frustrating. And then you see something cool and you're like, oh, I wonder how much one of those costs. We're going to get one used like that. And I had a similar incident in this past week and a half. I went to a gas station not frequented very often by Americans here in Germany, and I pulled up and I saw a C-Class Mercedes sitting there, and it was black and looked like it wasn't slammed. It was just a nice lowering of a factory option, and I was like, wasn't sure what it was. And I pulled up to the pump and started fueling my car and was walking around and side console. Sweet, that's an American spec C-Class, huh? And then I thought again about the stance, and I said, well, let me get a closer look at this thing. So I looked at the front right fender and I saw the AMG 6.3 badge. And I was like, no way, AMG C-Class, sweet. And then the dude came out and got in his car and fired it up, and that NASCAR V8 type rumble. And I was like, oh crap, now I need to look at V8s. So I found a really cool one in Dubai. Don't remember the year now, but it was red, which is a color I normally wouldn't want on a Mercedes, but he only wanted $13,000 for it, and it really looked like it had less than 70,000 miles on it, if I'm not mistaken. So now I've been a little bit of V8 trip. So when I get done with Project Quattro, which the engine is on the way, but I still don't have a final arrival point, which is driving me a little bit nuts, and it's also a little scary since it's the biggest ticket item I've ever purchased on eBay. I hope everything goes smooth. I mean, the guy that I bought the engine from has great reviews, so I hope that goes to plan. But the question is, how do I get a V8 cheap? Mustang probably would be the number choice, but the handling is then questionable because it wouldn't be able to. The current generation is not anywhere near my budget. I don't really think I want a Fox body one. So I don't know. And then the problem is there too, once you've heard the flat plane V8 on the current generation Mustang, it's like, ugh, do you really want anything else but that? But I guess with the right exhaust system, even on an older Mustang V8, would be awesome. Something from Akrapovic or something like that. That would be cool, or Borla. So I'm toying with that idea maybe as an upcoming project. On Used Car News, a buddy of mine is also maybe in the market for a car, and he just sent me an email. He just spotted a Ford C-Max. So what a C-Max is, you're maybe not familiar with, and I'll try to make sure I put a link to the car in the show notes. as well as probably like the Wikipedia link explaining the vehicle. But in general, for the sake of the video, a C-Max is sort of like it's not really a crossover vehicle. It's sort of like a minivan meets station wagon. So like a high roof station wagon, basically, based on the Ford Focus. So it has the Ford Focus mechanicals. So from a driving standpoint, it should have a real good handling feel, but with a lot more cargo than a standard hatchback can offer you. The price he had on it, I think, was it had 90,000 kilometers on it, and he wanted 8,000 euros for it, which it's not bad, I guess. I need to do a little research on what's available, and that's what I wrote him back in the email, that not bad, although I'm thinking for 8,000 euros, he should have a lot more variety, but I don't know what his goal is. I think more cargo carrying or versatility of cargo carrying is what he's looking for. Not in love with the C-Max, but it's his car. He has to be happy with it. I do like the S-Max, another vehicle from Ford that is in the minivan territory that's not available in the United States, and I will definitely link some pictures or link some website pictures to that, or you can look it up on your own. So I guess that's it for today. Hope you have enjoyed the show. If you like what you saw and heard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button at the bottom, and we'll catch you next time.